everyone, it is I, James the Squirrel, here with Nicky V.
We're back.
We're back.
We missed we
La-
missed last week because someone was sick.
I was sick, and between now and then, I have decided to move into an apartment, which I'm doing tomorrow. So
Oh,
I've.
fun.
So literally today is like, record all the things and finish packing.
Ah.
Literally, that's what today has been. It's been go out, buy a computer desk, record or I literally finished recording the Haymakers best WrestleMania main events thing with Voice and Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Watched NXT, and now I'm doing this.
So today's your day to get in all the wrestling jokes.
Yes, and then it's like tomorrow, finish packing. Hopefully the internet works, so I can play Splatoon 2 because that test fire thing happens, and I've got my Switch next to me.
Also,
And
first off, jealous. Second off, why did they not name that Splatoon?
Splatoon.
Yes.
Splatoon.
Yeah. Why did they not name it that? That's
Eh,
it's so easy.
I know. Anyway, this is NXT semi weekly.
We're trying. Damn it.
I think after WrestleMania it will become weekly because then it's just a matter of like that's I
Yeah.
was
Look.
originally going to say, hey, this thing's going to be weekly and we're going to start it after WrestleMania, but Nikki said, hey, we can do it now, and I was like, whatever, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. I like doing things on this channel. Like it.
I do
Like
too.
if I'm gonna completely fucking neglect my other YouTube channel, I might as well do stuff here to make up for the absence.
Yeah, like I've been
Although I
absent from my own channel because I've been putting my heart and soul into this stuff.
although I am
Um,
trying to make a comeback on my pony channel.
me as well. I'm also doing that. I'm starting next week. I will be doing a not. It doesn't start next week, but I start recording it next week.
Mm.
A basically a Dungeons and Dragons game with a couple of friends of mine.
Nice.
Has nothing to do
Also,
with ponies, but
oh, I was about to say season 7 fucking hype.
I might do
Okay,
stuff
this.
for that I care about, but we are here to talk about NXT. And for
Hmm.
once, I have notes.
Yay!
I'm totally
Now
not
I'm not gonna be.
looking. I'm totally
Oh,
not looking at cage side seats recap of it.
oh, damn it! I actually take the time out and type out notes as I go.
I don't.
Hmm. All right, so the show kicked off with a match between Oni Lorcan and Andrade Almas.
Only I'm
My,
gonna punch you in the face, Lorcan, and Andrade ACN almost please remove one of my names before I make it to the main roster.
oh, don't worry, the main roster does a very good job of that, so
Mm.
you're in good hands. But my God, like you take two of the guys who are really well known for being stupidly stiff, you put them in a match together and watch the pain.
Yeah.
Like these two guys, this was less of a wrestling match, more of just a straight up fucking fight. And the cool thing about this match, like at the start of it, they weren't really all that into it. Like it kind of seemed like just another Andrade sort of like just another Andrade build up match. But by the end, the crowd was so fucking into Oni Lorcan. Like Oni Lorcan might be my favorite person on the NXT roster, just because like his face and his body language just tell such a great story. Like he's so good at like at body language storytelling. You know what I mean?
Mhm. I'm just checking something because I'm wanting to make sure I'm getting this correctly. Keep going. I'm just checking something.
Oh, okay. All right. A couple of highlights for me. At one point, Andrade pretty early in the
Oh,
match. Oh,
so
want me to continue? Yeah.
Quick thing I've just found out. Andrade had wrestled by another name,
Hmm.
being Guerrero Azteca.
Guerrero Azteca. Hmm.
Also Rey Aztec.
Ray Aztec. Hmm. Interesting.
Oh, Azteca. Rey
Oh,
Azteca, Manny, Andrade, La Sombra.
yeah.
Yeah,
La
he's
Sombra was the big one that he was known for.
yeah.
See, but
Honestly, some of those names are a lot better than what he has at the moment.
yeah, yeah.
Speaking of
So,
such, we'll be talking about other wrestlers by other names later on.
mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So a couple of weird things. Early in the match, Andrade was on the outside, and it looked like he was about to take a count out loss. And Lorcan just ran out of the ring at 8, and it was just like, that's a little dumb. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Oney,
Well,
you
not
had a win
for
there.
not for Oni. Oni likes to beat people, not win against them. If Oni was a heel, it would make sense.
Well, yeah, but it just seemed weird.
Mm.
Like, he was at 8. Either go out a little earlier and not make that point be recognized, or like just take the win
Yeah.
and presumably get a bigger payday if we're going by the kayfabe of this whole thing.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, okay, if Roderick Strong is the messiah of the backbreaker, then Oney Lorcan is the king of the blockbuster, because
Oh
it seems
yeah,
like
that
he can
that
hit that move from anywhere, and it's
that blockbuster
awesome.
was gonna look good until it got countered.
Oh yeah, he got countered into like a kind of a scoop slam. That was pretty cool. But then he had a block or a running blockbuster in the ring, and that shit was tight. Like, I love
um.
Oney Lorcan's blockbusters. At one point, it looked like Lorcan was actually going to get the win. He hit 5 corner splashes in a row. Crowd was getting so hot for him at that point.
Oh yeah, he's going to be. I see his ceiling as similar to many people. He may get a one-off like heavyweight title run, and that's short as like a transitional champion where he holds it for a month, maybe two,
Hmm.
but mainly holds like Intercontinental US title a couple of times.
Yeah, like, I hope that the main roster knows what to do with him, because otherwise, I think that, like, worst case, okay, his ceiling, I think, is rich man's Eric Rowan, because he would fit really good in a stable, but I think on his own he could, like, really shine,
Yeah.
if that makes any
Um.
sense. Anyway, after those five
Almost. On
corners,
the other hand, I'd like to bring. While we're talking about ceilings, let's talk about Almost's. I think him. It very much depends on how they, like everyone, how they book him. But I could see him being like two or three
mhm,
time heavyweight champion, maybe.
yeah, yeah, I think
I
that the
think he
main
has
roster
a
will be well for him.
similar. I think he has a similar ceiling to Del Rio.
But anyway,
Anyway,
so back to
back to a
Lorcan
lovely
versus
match.
Almas. Uh, he like they built up. One of the things in the match was that Nigel McGuinness was building up the half and half suplex of Lorcan's for the whole match, and he finally hits it after those 5 corner splashes and gets a very close two, and the crowd just goes, "Ah, this is awesome!"
Yes, the match was awesome, and I'd
It
give
was
it
very good.
a strong 4.5.
I give it 7 million stars.
Mark.
Shut up. I like Lorcan and I like Almas. Like, these are two guys I like a whole bunch. So shut up your face.
Oh, hello, Mark.
You wrestling weeb.
Just 'cause I like indie wrestling does not mean I'm a weeb.
Oh, given how much you fucking gush over New Japan, it kind of does.
I like
So,
New Japan wrestling. I also like Ring of Honor wrestling, so.
yeah, you do.
Shut up.
All right, so the match ended with so Almas clubs the fuck out of Lorcan with like the hardest elbow you ever fucking saw.
I the
Got a 2.
only the only time I've seen a elbow that strong is from Cassius Ono, aka Chris Hero.
Like the only ones I've seen stronger were from actual fucking MMA fights.
Yeah, it's
Like
like
that, it was bad.
my jaw
So
felt sore after that.
he gets a 2 from that. Almost goes fucking mental. Hits the double knees in the corner, hammerlock DDT. Almost wins, and the crowd the crowd gives him a standing O. Like it was one of those matches.
Yeah, it's
Like this
like okay,
pay-per-view quality.
it's like follow that,
Yeah, good luck, bitches.
and that's why they put a bunch of promos on afterwards.
Yeah, because like they had. I get the feeling that a lot of this was taped out of order, and
Oh yeah,
that might explain why some of the matches earlier in the card or earlier in the series of tapings were kind of like low on crowd energy because some match had to follow that, and there was no hope for it. Because the crowd seemed really into all 3 of the matches tonight.
yeah. Then we got a promo from DIY, which was a lovely lovely promo. Really sold that what they were doing and such.
Yeah,
And
they
they're
mentioned
not
that.
winning.
No, well, maybe, but they might, but it's unlikely. But they mentioned a few things like how when like they first got to NXT, the first people that they ran into were the Revival, and they didn't like them right out of the gate. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, the whole the moment you meet someone, you can tell you're not going to like them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, that was good. At one point in this, Johnny Gargano mentioned glory bombs, and Ciampa had this look on his face of such disgust. He was just like, "We are in the middle of a strong, like heartfelt promo, and you're gonna bring up fucking Twitter memes, you fucking plebeian."
I love that moment. It was just like glorious bombs. Slowly looked at him.
Ciampa looked like his dad at that point. Like Gargano and Ciampa often look like a father-son team, but Ciampa just looked so disappointed. He was just like, "You fucking."
You ass! You didn't need to bring that up.
It was so good. I love
know.
it.
They're so good. They're gonna make such a great team on SmackDown.
No, they're gonna be on Raw.
No, they're gonna be on SmackDown because, well, SmackDown is indie show. Am I wrong?
Fair, but like I feel like the Revival's gonna go to SmackDown because SmackDown is also home to every NXT Tag Team Champion. Ascension, Villains, American Alpha.
But Tommaso and Ciampa are tag team champions.
Tommaso and Gargano are also cruiserweights.
Yes, that's true. But cruiserweight division doesn't have a tag team belt.
No, but I could see either one of them winning the cruiserweight title.
Maybe later. I think that'd be a thing where they get drafted to Raw and then they get that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that promo was really good. Then we get another teaser for Aleister Black, aka Tommy End.
Yeah, they showed a lot of shadow box. Is shadow boxing what you do when you like box with nobody?
Yeah, when you're boxing with the air.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to make sure I was using that right because I was like 90% sure that's what it meant, but I was just like, But yeah, so he's doing a lot of shadow boxing. He says the end is near.
Yeah,
I understood that reference. And there's some weird symbols that they showed at the very end of the.
I think that's
at the end of the package.
Like it was Alienese kind of thing, and I think that's gonna be like. I think
like the thing from Futurama.
Yeah, I think what it's gonna be is that's gonna pop up in his thing, and then it's gonna translate to something. Like
probably
in his entrance. Yeah, like in his entrance, it's gonna go from being that, then it's going to flicker into what it's actually like, morph into what it's actually meant to say, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's probably it.
And
Cool, cool thing.
then they have a replay of Ember Moon's win over Billie Kay. Once again, selling to fuck the Eclipse, meaning
Oh
she's
yeah,
not gonna hit it.
yeah. There were several times in the match or during the course of the show, particularly later on in the Asuka match, where they were just like, "Is this going to be the move that puts down Asuka?" And they are building it up like it can.
They're building up like it can, meaning most likely she's not gonna hit it.
Either that, or she is going to hit it and kick out.
Yes, those are the two options I see happening. And I'd love for Oscar to be one of those people who holds the title up until, well, she makes her Raw debut and has to drop the belt.
Yeah, like don't have her lose. Just don't.
What I would say is, how I was going to bill it is Asuka doesn't get hit by it, and she doesn't lose the title. She has to drop it, like they do with they did with Paige. Paige, have Asuka win the women's title on SmackDown, even though we're pretty sure she's going to go to Raw. But if she was put on SmackDown, she could be like the face of SmackDown's women's division. Hold it for a while, then have Ember Moon debut against her for the title, and have Ember Moon then hit the Eclipse on her.
Yeah, that works.
And then have it be a thing where if Ember Moon had have hit it against her, she would have lost the title. Then it's like a big circle kind of thing. Anyway,
so speaking of Asuka, she had a match against Priscilla Zuniga.
Yes.
A couple things before the match. It looked like Asuka's Titantron video just glitched the fuck out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that was intentional, but like it just looked
Odd.
like I looked at it and I literally had to go, or I did the 10 seconds back thing just to like make sure my screen didn't just die. They also mentioned that Asuka's. Oh, go ahead.
Before the match, right before the match, she warns Ember Moon, "This is your fate." Even though it sounded to me like "this is your hate."
Yeah, that's what I thought she said too. Like it sounded really weird, and you know what? It's like language barrier and
second
such,
language.
Like,
I just go. It's second language. You can speak more Japanese than I can. You get to have a pass.
Yeah. Also, they have mentioned that Asuka is now the longest reigning champion of any kind in NXT history.
Yep. And I think she got her undefeated streak.
Nice. And the crazy thing is, like, it doesn't feel like she's held the title for a year.
Yeah. It feels really like
they haven't ruined her. Like, whenever they have a lot of title reigns that last a stupidly long amount of time, especially one that doesn't really involve a heel turn at any point, like you tend to get a little bit stale, but they've done a good job of making Asuka a compelling enough character.
I think it's because with NXT they don't have title shots every month.
And not only that, but they don't have him appear every episode. Like,
oh yeah,
even in just the episodes that we see, she maybe has like, she appears like maybe once every 3 weeks. So, hey,
maybe twice a week, maybe twice a fortnight leading up to like a takeover or something.
Yeah, but like they've done a good job of keeping Asuka interesting as champion. So good job, good on them. I like that.
Yeah,
well
and you can take a guess who won the Asuka match.
Was it the girl with the German name?
No, it wasn't. Asuka beat the living Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, like
and then she cuts a scathing Japanese promo, which was
hmm
beautiful, and then basically shushes the crowd and goes, "No eclipse," then throws the mic down, and just like
yeah, like cuz
I was
she
like,
was getting actual what chance at during the promo, and it was just like, you know what? This is the one time where I can't begrudge them because I'm going what?
yeah, I had to get that translated, and it was like it's basically she said, uh, I think it was like she's like there's not going to be an eclipse, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you like know a Japanese person?
I know I know a couple of people.
Huh, neat.
Yes.
But yeah, and one last cool thing about this match, like she hit one of those big roundhouse kicks to the head on Priscilla,
Hmm.
and she went for the pin, but she picked her up at two.
She went, "I'm not winning this way."
ah, ah, ah. This match is over when I say it's over.
Yeah,
Gosh, damn it!
Asuka is the Brock Lesnar of the women's division.
I would if she could fight Bobby Roode in that believable match.
Oh yeah.
I want to see that match.
So
I want to see Asuka versus Bobby Roode. So
after that, we get another promo with one of the tag teams. You'll see that being with Dash and Dawson, top guys.
guys.
Yeah.
So they said they're talked about why they were called the Revival. Said they were better than Arn and Tully, the Rockers, Midnight Express,
Go through
the
legends in tag
Heart
team
Foundation, like all of them.
Yeah. They basically say they fight for money,
Mm-hmm.
and he like the
They
authors
said.
of pain.
Mm-hmm. They
And,
said that they were the only people who've put the authors of pain on their back, which is true.
yep.
With that fucking shatter machine, that was so cool.
Yes, it was. It was very cool.
Mm-hmm.
They also said they've grinded just as hard as DIY. I may have giggled a little bit.
Like, yeah, modern culture has just destroyed the use of the word grinding.
Yes, grinding, grinded, grind.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
the Memphis Grizzlies basketball team always talks about how they're like the grindhouse team, and it's just like yeah, you are.
They also say they'll be 3-time champs, which is true. If they win, there will be the I think like the only 3-time champions in NXT history.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
The only two-time champs of any other kind are Samoa Joe and Nakamura, I think.
yep. After that, we get
Oh, and
told.
there was one last thing. Next they announced next week
I
a
was about to
triple
go in
threat
that.
match. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Basically, they announce Akam, Gargano, and Wilder will face each other in a triple threat match. That totally won't break the fuck down into a brawl.
Well, here's the thing. It's a triple threat match, so it's no DQ.
Yeah, I mean everyone, their tag team partners included.
Oh yeah.
That match ain't ending.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if it can end because, like, does either of them have a singles finisher?
Not really.
This. Oh well, no. Gargano has the Gargano escape, but maybe.
I honestly think what'll happen is Akam and Rizar will eventually like it'll end with Akam and Rizar like pinning one of them after the brawl's finished. If they're gonna
I think
actually have a pinfall victory.
I think it would be really cool if Akam were to pin both of them simultaneously.
Yeah.
Like you remember that match where it was like it was a Lucha Underground match between I want to say
I
Puma.
may not have seen that.
It was
like
a triple threat match, I believe. Puma versus Pentagon versus Mil Muertes for Mil Muertes' title, and Muertes pins both of them by just like slamming a palm down on both their chests and getting a pin on both of them. It was fucking cool.
Okay, so next we go into a lovely video package for Bobby Roode versus Nakamura.
Had an epic voiceover guy.
Yeah, I think it's the same guy who does like the occasional, like the Royal Rumble stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, like the Royal Rumble facts video.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Not much to say because if you know NXT and those two story, you know what
Mhm.
was said.
Yeah, Rude called himself the god of NXT, which was interesting.
Yes.
Is
Yes, it
he a
was.
wrestling god, perchance?
If he says that, I think JBL will flatten him, or at least attempt to instead fall over in his ass.
Yeah, he'll try to go for it and just like trip over one of the cables.
Mm.
Also, Nakamura is surfing.
Yeah.
Cause why not?
'Cause logic.
I assume they have some nice waves up in Japan. Like, I
Decent some
suppose that's a thing.
places.
But
Not really. There's too many jellyfish.
okay, that makes sense. But it was just a weird little like, okay, like this is kind of out of left field. Like,
Well,
I don't know if they've ever even mentioned that Naka has any kind of interest in surfing.
you know what? It was probably. I've always wanted to go surfing. I'm in Florida. Why the fuck not?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
NXT just went, "Oh, you're gonna go surfing? Sure, we'll use that for a promo or something," and just took a camera with it. I could
Yeah.
see them doing that.
We need some B-roll.
Some B-roll footage so we can throw it in a promo or something.
Yeah.
Like NXT is the kind of place where they can get away with that because it's developmental not only for wrestlers but also like cameramen and such.
Mm-hmm. It works. So
Um.
next up, we had an interview with Team Dillinger.
Yep.
Uh, Says Sanity doesn't have the numbers on their side because there's going to be a six-man tag match in the main event. Which I feel like we saw that match a couple weeks ago, and
Yes, we did.
no, the numbers aren't in your advantage. It's 3-on-4, you dipshits.
They even mentioned that on the way, like the um, commentators even mentioned that it's kind of 3-on-4.
Yeah, yeah, like how Nicky's the wild card, and it's just like, then it's not even, you dungus.
Also, I do like the last thing that Ty Jellinger says: "Don't play a numbers game with a perfect 10."
That was a really good line. I
I
like that
know.
one. That was good. And before we went to, or after that, there was a package for heavy machinery.
Yeah.
The only thing I
As
wrote
I
down
like
about
to,
this,
I like to call them Team Hoss.
they are Hoss like. The only thing I wrote down for this is they heavy.
Yeah.
I think I meant to put they're heavy, but I like what I put better. So
Okay.
they heavy. That's their whole character. Like they said, they were 650 pounds and they were ready to eat.
Yeah.
Feed me more. Feed me
No,
more.
we do not talk about him. He's not a
We
good
do,
wrestler. He's
we
also
do not talk about the Ryback.
the Ryback changed his name to Ryback.
I'm surprised you didn't change it to the Ryback.
I know, I
Or
know.
the Ryback Reeves.
So
He's got problems.
then we get a then we get an interview with not an interview really, a online video from last week.
It
That
started
sets
out
up,
as an interview.
yeah,
Like they tried to interview Cassius Ono, and
and it
Ono was like,
sets
hmm?
it basically sets up Cassius Ono versus Elias Sampson. A loser leaves NXT match for next week. Now, here's the thing. I could see this going
Mm-hmm.
either way. It could either be Cassius Ono loses and goes straight to main, or
Mm-hmm.
Elias Sampson loses and goes to main, goes to Raw, and we get the moment we talked about earlier. the whole Corey Graves is going, okay, who's his mystery opponent? Da, 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 da. Elias Sampson's music hits and he goes, no! I just got away from him! Why is he
Fuck! It's gonna be so good.
I could see it going either way, that is why. And then he basically falls off into obscurity. Because his glass ceiling is NXT.
Yeah, he's gonna go to the main roster and start chopping like crazy. There's no doubt. But like, I highly doubt that Ono is going to make a really big deal about his return, lose a match against Bobby Roode, lose a match against Elias Sampson, and then leave. That would be a really disappointing return to NXT.
Yep, and that's pretty much it. Oh, except for Tom Phillips says Aleister Black will be taking on Almost at NXT Orlando.
I can dig it.
Yep.
Almost said a lot of things in Spanish, and he said that Almas will make Black believe in El Ídolo.
AKA the Idol.
Yeah. I thought it was the Eagle. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, the Idol.
Ah, okay. Okay, so that led to our main event for the evening. Sanity versus Team Dillinger.
Yeah, which was a really good match until it imploded.
As it was meant to be. By the way, Alexander, like while Sanity's theme was playing, Alexander Wolf was rocking out to his music so fucking hard. He was going full mosh pit. It was great. Like Alexander Wolf is like one of those guys who's like he's the Eric Rowan of the group, but it's just like he's having so much fun with this.
So one thing I noticed during the match, Eric Young called Killian Dane Damo.
Whoops.
I heard that and I was like, he's not Damo, he's Dane. Dane, just at least call him Dane.
He's still Damo to some of us.
Most of us.
So one of the things involved in this match was every time that Dillinger got back, they did a lot of rapid tags, and it was just one after another. It was Jose Strong Dillinger, Jose Strong Dillinger, good tag team wrestling. And every time Dillinger was in the ring, like he would beat down someone, usually Wolf, and he would just stare a hole through Eric Young, and just like every single time they've done a really good job of making us believe that these two hate each other. That is really good.
Yeah.
Anything else here?
This is this is going to go on my I'm going to be pushing for this to go on storyline of the year for Raw Team.
Yeah, I can agree with that. At one point, Nikki Cross held Jose's feet, and he got knocked off the apron by Wolf. And Nikki Cross just had this like giddy look on her face, like she was giggling and hopping around, and it was just like, you are too good at this, and you are so in the wrong faction.
I know. So the match goes along, really good spots here and there. Like I remember one was I'm trying to remember what it was, but yeah.
I'll throw out one. I liked Strong at one point started throwing out backbreakers to everyone.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so Strong goes to pin Eric Young, and Dane breaks up the pin with a fucking senton.
Oh yeah, he's done that before in the indies, where like it's a triple threat match, someone's pinning him, 1, 2, and then you just see him get air.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, he lands on Strong and fucking Eric Young.
Yeah, it's like Eric Young probably goes, fuck, ow.
Between Damo and Strong, that's 500 pounds that's just going thump.
Ow. So eventually the match completely disintegrates in double disqualification, and they all start like beating each other up, and Ty
Hmm.
Dillinger starts beating up Eric Young in the middle of the ring, and
Yep.
he's like, it's the culmination of like everything he's been wanting to do. Like he's doing the repeated stomps and that, and then he goes to do the tiebreaker,
Hmm.
and then Nikki Cross jumps on his back and attacks him again.
Hmm.
Then
And then all of a sudden, this lady just runs in and just starts throwing hands at Nikki Cross.
we don't get a name for her, but I have done some sleuthing and I have found out
Mhm.
her name is Ruby Riot.
Which is a fucking great name.
I know.
And it
She's
looks like she stole Zack Ryder's ECW pants. Do you remember those?
yeah,
The ones that only had one leg and looked
yeah.
awful.
He wore those in WWE a little bit too.
Ah,
Yes.
it looked
Her other
weird.
names were um Dory Prague or Prig or whatever it is. Heidi
French.
Lovelace. Prange, thank you. Heidi Lovelace, aka Miss Heidi, aka Heidi the Riveter, I think.
Heidi
And
Lovelace sounds like a porn name.
and also Sally Stitches, which could be a really good like if it was a dark, if she was going to be a dark character.
If she were insanity, basically.
Yes, basically that kind of thing.
Although it also sounds like an it also kind of sounds like a name that you would just make up as like it's Nikki the Nasty or whatever.
Yeah,
It's
but
Sally Stitches. But yeah, so her name now is Ruby Riot, which is an awesome name. It sounds like the name of like a early '90s like Seattle based rock band leader.
yeah. So her I'm just gonna run off some stats. She's been
Hmm.
she's got 6 years of in-ring expertise.
Hmm.
Her style is a Technica or High Flyer.
Hmm.
Let's see. Her one of her nicknames is the Punk Unk Ragdoll.
Hmm.
Some of
That's
her
interesting.
trademark moves are the Heidi Rana, Deadly Nightshade, Flying Double Knees, the Love Lock, Tornado DDT,
Hmm.
Shining Wizard, and the Heidi Ho.
The Heidi Ho.
Ho.
Hmm. And what is that move?
I do not know.
Okay.
um,
So,
just her average ranking so far is 88.5 out of 10. So far this year, she's had 9.6. So she's doing
wait,
pretty
wait,
good.
wait, what are you getting this from?
I'm getting this from Cage Match. .net.
Oh, okay. So it's like people rating her?
Yeah, I think it's a user rated thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that makes a little more sense. So, a while back, we were wondering what kind of match that Dillinger and Sanity were having at Takeover. Like, we were thinking maybe a Sanity barred from ringside thing or a cage match. And I think now with the addition of Ruby Riot, it's pretty clear now this is probably going to be an 8-person intergender match.
No, because one second, let me get this confirmed. Because I want to make sure
I
WWE.
checked Wikipedia. There's no addition to the match on the
What
on
I'm
the takeover card.
thinking,
Hmm.
if I'm remembering correctly, it was gonna be. It's either gonna be that. It's gonna be a 4-man, well, 8-man tag, or it's gonna
Hmm.
be Young versus Dillinger in a match
Hmm.
on their own, and the six others in a intergender tag match.
Hmm. That could also work, but
Like
usually
the
takeover.
leaders in a singles match where everyone else in a tag match.
Hmm. Yeah, but usually there's like usually there's only like 5 matches on an NXT Takeover card, so it's like,
We're at
you
4
know,
at the moment.
yeah, but they haven't added the Dillinger Sanity match yet, so
Is there a mention on how long this is going to be? I think it's like usually 2 hours.
usually a 2.5.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
by the looks of it, it's like the
Plus, they still
championship
have to find something
matches.
for Ono to do.
I could see Ono. I could see either one of. It depends on what he does. Like
Mm-hmm.
what happens next week. Next week will be very telling. So we're gonna probably do a rapid fire run through of next week's NXT, and then go straight into predictions.
Yeah, that seems likely.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, this week's episode of NXT, like Lorcan versus Almas was fucking sweet. Uh, Asuka versus Zuniga was good for what it needed to do. Like, and the 6-person tag was also good for what it needed to do. So this was, I would say, a very good episode of NXT this week.
Yeah. I'm just checking for certain things. Oh, that's actually incredibly fun. Raw's getting all the classic pay-per-views for this year. We're getting Payback and Bad Blood.
We're getting it. We're getting the return of Bad Blood.
Yeah, on
Is
Raw.
it Bad Blood with 2 D's?
No,
Oh, well then what's the
Bad Blood.
point? What's the point if we're not gonna call it Bad to Blood?
Because it's not in your house.
WWE, get on that shit. Call it Bad to Blood.
You know what? It has to. The main event has to feature Triple H though,
Yeah, yeah,
because
because
both of the other in 2003 and 2004 the main event was Triple H versus Kevin Nash and Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. In fact, both in Hell in a Cell matches.
so are you saying that this is going to lead to Triple
Seth,
H versus Scott Hall
no, it should be Triple H versus Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match for the title.
for the title?
Because that's what it's been every. Oh wait, no, that actually wasn't for the. Wow, I feel sorry for Chris Benoit. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels in a Hell in a Cell match. Match was before which was after a Chris Benoit versus Kane for the title.
Wow. 2003 Triple H gonna 2003 Triple H.
2004.
Well, you get the idea. Reign of Terror Triple H gonna Reign of Terror Triple H.
Yes. Anyway, this has been James the
Reign of
Squirrel.
Terror. Reign of Terrorizing.
Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum-bum. And on that,
And
I'm ending the video
I've
there.
been Nicky. Good night, everybody.
I hate you.
Uh,
That was a bad joke, and I hate you.
yeah,
See you next week.
I I get that reaction a lot.